Hi everybody, it's Mike here from The Art of Guitar, here with kind of a fun video. I need your opinion on something. So I need you to pretend that you're putting together a cover band that's going to play early heavy metal, hard rock type music. And so you're holding auditions for the bass player part. And two people end up showing up, okay? What you told them to do was to learn the verse and the chorus parts of Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden. And all they have to do is each one has to come up, play that part with a band, and then you'll decide which one you're going to go with, which bass player. So we recorded each of them, and then I tried to turn down all the background music and just turn up the bass part so you can really focus on that. And I need you to tell me if you would go with player 1 or player 2. Player 1's name is Harry, player 2's name is Mick. So after you hear the two takes, before I reveal who we went with, I need you to put your answer in the comments section, and then I'll reveal who we ended up going with, okay? So the first bass player I'm going to show you is the guy named Harry, okay? So this is his take with the band. Okay, let that settle in. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you the second bass player's take when he played along with the band, and his name is Mick. Check it out. So that was Mick's take. So before you decide, take a really quick listen back to Harry's part, just a little bit of it. Okay, now a little bit of what Mick played, and then make your decision. Here we go. So I have to admit something. There was never any band tryout, but I did this experiment with quite a few of my students just to teach them something. Now, the second bassist, Mick, is actually me. I played that part in the recording. And what I tried to do when I recorded was play it as accurately as I could. And I actually used a pick, which is a no-no when you play Iron Maiden songs, but I thought I could articulate the lines a lot cleaner that way. And guess who was actually the bass player I called Harry? It was actually Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. Now, he didn't come in here and record. That was just an isolated bass track from the actual song. So you should have seen the faces on my students, because most of them chose Mick's part, or my part, because they thought it sounded cleaner, it was more accurate, they said. And I just wanted them to really understand that just because something is played perfectly, it wasn't played perfectly, but closer to like a perfect sound as far as being quantized, perfect with the beat, everything's trying to be articulated real cleanly. It doesn't mean it has what the actual bass player Steve Harris plays. And even though a lot of my students would say that Steve Harris's part was a little bit sloppier, that's not the point of this whole thing. The point is that his part fit the music better, and it actually brought vibe to the song versus mine, where I was trying to be so perfect and do everything exactly right accurately, and it just doesn't fit the music the same way. It's a really interesting thing that took me many, many years to realize. Run for your lives. Run for your lives. One time I tried out and I played bass for a local musician, and I learned all the parts in the bass part. I even recorded on his album, and he was like, yeah, that sounded really good, man. But later we got talking about his old bass player, and he said that she really wasn't the best bass player in the world, but it seemed like just the way she played always seemed to fit the music really well. And I kind of took that to heart, because I put in a lot of practice time to learn the bass parts perfect and try to play them as best I could. But I was forgetting one of the biggest things you can about music, which is you gotta bring the energy, the vibe, the feel to the song. I was worried more 80% accuracy and doing it right, and only 20% feel. Whereas she would do the opposite. So sometimes she would hit notes that didn't quite sound right. Some of her notes were muted. Some of it sounded a little bit sloppy, but it really fit the music in an amazing way that I just couldn't practice my way up to. And that really shifted my thinking about being a musician. I thought, I spent so many years trying to be so accurate, so perfect all the time. I forgot that I'm playing music that has feel, that has emotion. I'm not a robot. They could have just easily used a keyboard or some quantized tracks instead of a real bass player. So as a human bass player, I was supposed to bring that feel, the human feel into it. But I was just too in my head, too worried about being perfect all the time. Now, if you're one of the people that did not choose the Steve Harris bass line when you were putting your answer in the comments, don't feel bad, because all by themselves, you might prefer the sound of the picked bass version that I did. But hopefully you understand my overall point of this video when you finally hear that playing inside the context of the music. It makes all the difference. So this might bring up a question in your mind, should I keep practicing to be accurate on the guitar and get better and better and better? Of course you should. But realize that that's not the whole picture, okay? That's just a little part of it. Accuracy is awesome, and I'm so glad I practiced all those hours in my life to be able to do it when I need to, and it's always in the background. Lately, I've just been relaxing. I've been trying to get more into the vibe of the song instead of always trying to be perfect, and I think it's really paying off because I'm finally playing and expressing myself through the guitar in a way that I've never been able to in my whole life. So hopefully that was a fun little game for you guys to play. Sorry, I kind of had to fib a little bit, but it's fun to set up these scenarios to see what people would honestly choose. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. We'll catch you at the next video. Bye-bye.